Breathe in and out. Do 2 more breath cycles on your own. And then release the hand, let it just come to the thigh. Keep the eyes closed if you haven't already done so, and just sit in that. So alternating nostril breath is great to kind of calm the nervous system, check in. I know it's a tricky one, and you probably feel maybe the nostrils are kind of all stuck together right now. So just take a moment, nice regular breaths in and out through the nose. Good. And then as you flutter the eyes open, we'll inhale and reach up and look up. And as you breathe out, allow the hands to float to the heart. We'll do that twice more. Big breath in. And big breath out. Breathe in. And out. Placing the hands on hips. If you are up on a block, you might want to remove it from your backside. And we'll just start to trace circles with the body. Start in one direction. So you're coming past the shins and your bottom will lift up, and that's okay here. Draw the belly button in towards the spine. And the next time we pass over through center, pause and center and reverse your circles. Good, then we'll pause and seated with a tall spine. Again, head over heart, heart over your pelvis, so you have the vertical line. And then a breath in, we'll reach the arms up, and the breath out, just bring them back down by your side. So the breath in, we're sweeping up, hands meet in center overhead, and breath out allows them to float back down to the earth. Breathe in, reach up, maybe a look up, if that's okay for your neck, and breathe out to land. Last one, breathe in and out. Then placing hands on knees. Again, think that vertical line from the top of your head right down into your seat. We'll breathe into a tall spine, and as you breathe out, allow the right ear to reach for the shoulder with not bringing the shoulders up into the ears. So just the ear is longing to rest in that spot. We're here for a couple of breaths. And then release the head back up to center. Let's take a breath in together and allow the left ear to fall over, just floating above the left shoulder. Stay with your breath. An even breath in and out through your nose. Good. Release the head back to center. Now let's take a tuck of the chin. First, breathe into the tall spine as you breathe out. Tuck the chin towards your collarbones, and then play with a little bit of movement, half circles. Go left, back through center, go right, all the while trying to keep the shoulders away from the ears. One more time each side. Over to the right, back down to center, and then allow the head to be held high. Coming To still seated, extend the legs long, flex in the ankles so you could do a footprint on the wall in front of you or whatever's in front of you. Knees can be soft here a little bend. We're coming into a forward fold, so you'll want to inhale and press down through your seat. And as you exhale, hinge from your hips or lead with your heart and fold over the legs. And wherever you land, some of you might be super flexible and be able to come right down and rest on your shins. This might be okay. And here, I'll turn myself sideways so you can see to the angle that I'm at. So when you're folding, so once you feel the sensation in the back of the legs and perhaps in the low back, then let your head hang heavy. And no blocks or pillows, of those of you at home, they come in handy. So it'll help you rest on the block, know that they have different heights. So find a place where you can find ease in the effort of this shape and focus on your breath. Sometimes when we fall forward or come into forward folds, we tend to hold our breath. So really imagine and picture that belly as it inflates with every inhale, and maybe the exhales, just maybe, will allow you to come forward and melt further into the stretch. But honor today's body. Each day our body feels a little different. So we're here for about 3 more breaths. So breathe in, direct the breath into the low back and along the back of the legs. And then as you breathe out, you let it all go. Good. Let's all breathe in together. And then as we breathe out, allow the vertebrae to stack one on top of the other as you sit tall. As we make our way to hands and knees, hands are under shoulders, knees are under hips, and begin with cat-cows. So as you breathe in, lift the tail, the belly drops, gaze up towards the ceiling, shoulder blades hug the spine. And then as you breathe out, push the floor away, look up into the navel, spread through the shoulder blades. Breathe in, open chest, broad collar, and breathe out. You broaden through the shoulder and the back body. So follow the rhythm of your breath. Linger in one or perhaps the other for additional breaths if that feels so good. Know that you can also invite other movement, draw the hips back, maybe rock side to side. I'm hearing a little bit of snap, crackle, pop. Perhaps you are too. Just be sure there's no pain per se. Good to feel, see what's going on in the body. Maybe back through a round of cat-cow. And then we'll all meet in center. Stabilize through the knees and the hands, and we'll alternate arm and leg extension. So starting with the right arm, we'll extend with an inhale. Left heel is pressing back away from you. And then the exhale, you'll land through center. So we'll follow the breath and move from side to side. So a breath in, extend left fingers long, press out through the right heel. Exhale, land in center and table. Other side, breathe in, lengthen. Gaze just towards the top of the mat. That will help you keep a nice long line through the neck. Try not to let the head hang heavy if possible. Good. Keep going. Inhale, lengthen, reach, stabilize through your core. Exhale, land in center. Breathe in, lengthen. breathe out, center. One more time, each side. So big breath in, right fingertips reach away from the back heel, land in center. Other side, breathe in, lengthen, and breathe out, center. Pause in neutral. Let's extend the right leg behind, tap the toes down, press out through the heel. So we're relatively stable here. Just pause in stillness if you can, and then we'll invite some movement. So little rocks to and fro. Good. Pause in stillness. Let's kind of sweep or fan the right toes so they're at the midline of your mat. Let the foot lie flat. The right foot is flat. Toes face forward to protect the knee. Let's stay in stillness in this one. You might really be feeling that in the inner thigh. Good. Now sweep the right toes in behind you to the left back corner of your mat. So you can stay here or maybe try and look back towards the toes. So squeezing the left ribs towards your left hip, and you have a nice long line on the right side body. Good. Right toes come behind you, then right knee under the hip. Ready yourself for the other side. So let's extend left leg long, tap the toes down, start by pressing out through the heel in stillness. And when you're ready, feel free to add on to and fro's, rock up and down, up and down. Pause in stillness. And then swing the left leg about to the midline of your mat. Left foot is flat. We're pausing in stillness. Breathing that steady flow of breath. Good. Sweep the left leg behind you and left toes land on the right back corner of your mat. Stay here or maybe squeeze ribs and hip together on the right as you lengthen the left side body. Good. Left toes behind left hip, and then knee under hip. Draw the hips back and find child's pose. So whether knees are together, maybe some of you prefer to have them wide and create some space. Allow the forehead to melt towards the earth. If the earth feels far away, know that you can pillow hands on top of each other or make fists. If you do have access to blocks, those of you at home, no blocks, a pillow, towel comes in handy. I always think of when we're in postures of stillness, it's like coming home. You know, there's nothing like walking through your front door. And I feel that in stillness, I feel like I'm coming home. I return to my breath, and that's my home in yoga. That steady flow of breath, the one that helps me be in stillness, but also the one that nurtures me when I'm in movement. So think of your breath as that home. You're coming home. Just 2 more breath cycles, just as you are. And then slowly rise up to hands and knees. And if the knees are wide, be sure to land the knees just under the hips. Let's roll over our toes, lift our knees, and draw the hips up and back into your first down dog. And pedal the feet. Bend the knee, one the other. Feel free to come up on toes and kind of shift the heels to the right, back up through center and over to the left. Nice broad hand where fingers are fanned wide and pressing down even into the fingertips. I feel a little lift. I'm pressing down through my palm, but I also feel a little bit of a lift in the center of my palm. Good. We'll come to stillness and crawl the hands back towards the feet. Knees are soft, head hangs heavy, arms can hang heavy. Maybe reach for opposite elbows to frame the head. And imagine anything, if you were feeling any kind of sticky spots at the start of practice, imagine it, everything letting go and dripping out of the top of the head into the earth. Leave it behind. Anything that you don't need, leave it behind. Release the arms long. And we'll roll to stand very slowly. Even let your fingertips kind of gently touch the thighs as you roll up. A shoulder shrug at the top. Maybe a step from side to side. And then we'll stand in stillness, so feet are about hip width apart. And as we breathe in, reach up, breathe out, fold over yourself as you fold forward. Breathe in, lift halfway as you lengthen the spine, and breathe out to fold in. With a breath in, press into both soles of the feet. So create stability and stand tall. Hands reach up and hands to heart. Good. Breathe in, reach up. Breathe out, fold forward, dive over the legs. Breathe in to a half lift, straight spine, and breathe out, fold in. Breathe in, stand tall and strong, reach up, and hands to heart. Good, we'll do that 2 more times. Big breath in, and big breath out. Breathe in, lift halfway, lengthen, and breathe out to fold. Press into the soles of the feet as you take the breath in and reach up, and hands to heart. One last time. Big breath in, and big breath out. Breathe in, lift, and breathe out, fold. Breathe in, scoop all that wonderfulness up in and float it down into the heart. And pause here, close the eyes down. Maybe take a moment here to set an intention for your practice if you haven't already done so. So you probably feel the breath, the heat that you've started creating in the body, and feel the heartbeat against your thumbs. Maybe direct some of that energy to something that you've been neglecting, or maybe an intention, maybe it's something new, preparing for the new year that's ahead of us. Maybe it's for a family, friend, or a loved one that they have some challenges right now and you want to direct them some positive energy. Take a moment, think of an intention to dedicate your practice today. Good, and as we gently flutter the eyes open, with an inhale, we'll sweep the arms up and overhead. With the exhale, fold forward, crawl the hands to the top of the mat, in down dog. Good, then a big breath in, right leg up to the sky. As you breathe out, step the right foot between your hands and gently tap the right knee down. Starting with fingertips grounded or hands. If the floor is feeling very distant, know you have your supports. Level 1, 2, and 3 with your blocks. One more breath here. And then heel toe the right foot to the right side of your mat, and toes are pointing at a 45-degree angle. So knee is tracking over the ankle and hands are on the inside of the foot. So this may be where you'll be today, and that's okay. Some of you might like to take same hand as bent knee, front knee, and press into the thigh to open it further. Some of you might like to come down onto forearms or blocks. And some deeper still, to deepen in this posture, roll over the back toes and lift the knee. So many options here. Find a place where you can find ease in the effort. And if you start off in one shape and want to challenge yourself as we breathe along through the posture, if you start in an upright position, you feel free to come down onto forearms for a breath or two. It will look different for each and every one of us. Always honoring today's body. As we think about being grounded, I think it's easy to think of that when we're on the floors right now. Our hands are lending support, our front foot, our back knee, or if you have knee lifted, your part of your back foot, your toes are supporting you and helping you stay balanced and centered. So if you do have the back knee lifted, tap the knee down. Everyone come up onto hands and onto your palms, and then heel toe the front foot, center between the hands. Roll over the back toes, and we'll step to a three-legged dog just to shake that out a little bit. So maybe extend the leg, you can bend the knee and open the hip, play with a little bit of movement. And then we'll all land in a static dog. When you're ready, breathe in, left leg high. Breathe out, step it through as you tap the right knee down. And find the ease and the effort on this side might look a little different than the right side, and that's okay. Shoulders away from the ears and the jaw is relaxed. Good. Get ready to bring the left hand inside the left foot. You'll heel toe the left foot to the long edge of the mat. Remember, it's about on the 45-degree angle. And You'll settle where it feels comfortable. So whether you stay upright, whether you press on to the inner thigh of your left thigh, maybe rolling over the toes, lifting the right knee. Follow your breath. Two more breaths. And then carefully heel toe the left foot between your hands. Press down into the palms, roll over your right toes as you come into a three-legged dog, left leg nice and high. Make any movement that feels good. Tap the left toes down. Let's tap the knees down. With hips high, we're going to crawl the hands forward and melt the heart down into puppy pose. So arms are nice and long, reaching for the top edge of the mat. The heart is melting and hips are over the knees. Good. Two more breaths. Big breath in, fill up, feel the expansion in the back side of your body. And as you breathe out, everything maybe melts a little further towards the earth below you. Carefully crawl the hands back under shoulders. Let's set the hips back and pause in child's pose. Come back to breath, come back to your home. Your breath is your home. Good, then we'll rise up and make our way to seated. So in an easy sitting pose with legs crossed, that doesn't feel great. Extend the legs or prop yourself up on a block. And we're going to come into eagle arms. So we'll start by just bending both elbows, palms face up, and let's place the left elbow inside the right elbow crease. If you can, touch palms, backs of hands, if not. And if this is not great, know that you can just take a hug, like so, reaching opposite arm to opposite shoulder. You'll still get some opening into the back of your shoulders. So wherever you are, we'll start in neutral. So we'll breathe in, find the tall spine. And as you breathe out, see if you can draw the fingertips up towards the sky. Those of you that might be hugging shoulders, you can still lift the elbows up so they're probably even with the shoulders. Good. So working with the breath, we'll breathe in, so fingers will reach up to the sky, and as you breathe out, you're going to round into yourself and bring the elbows towards the belly and head bows. If you're hugging your arms still, you can still do the same thing. Just come into a bow as elbows come into belly. And the breath in will reach up no matter where you are, and breathe out. Let's come in towards center. Breathe in to lengthen. And breathe out, curl in. So one more. Breathe in. and out. Come back to center. Let's unwind the arms and we'll just kind of shake out, coming to the opposite side. So bend in the elbows. This time we're placing right elbow inside the crease of the left elbow, wherever your hands, whether the backs of hands meet, the palms meet, maybe you're hugging yourself. So let's just pause in stillness for a moment. And then as we breathe in, let's reach the fingers up towards the sky, or maybe in hug, it's the elbows coming up. And then as you breathe out, round into the self, elbows to belly. Breathe in, lengthen the spine, reach up. Breathe out, feel a nice spread in the upper back. Breathe in, lengthen. Couple more. Last one. And back and center, release the twist tie of the arms and just maybe a little shake out. Good. With legs crossed, right shin is in front of the left. And then we'll breathe in, lengthen, and breathe out, fold over the front shin. Block if you need to. This one, unlike when we were coming into our little torso, little figure eights that we did at the start, you do want your glutes to stay grounded. So as we reach forward, you'll feel them lift, really press down through the sits bones. So you may have to back your hands towards you if you do feel the lift. So find that sweet spot. The breath flows freely in and out, and it's nice. There's quality to your breath. You breathe in, feel it travel all the way down to the diaphragm and feel that expansion right into the low belly, maybe in the low back. And then fully release it. No shortcuts in the breath. Nice, steady, even flow. Doesn't get caught in just the upper lungs. You have about 2 more breaths here. And then we'll make our way to palms. If you've used blocks, I guess you'll leave them there because we're going to do it on the other side. Back yourself up to a tall spine. Let's extend the legs nice and long. Shake them out before we change sides. So when you're ready, left shin in front of the right. Breathe in, press down into the floor below you, and as you breathe out, hinge from the waist. Remember to keep that connection with the sits bones as you allow the front body to melt towards the earth. I definitely feel it differently on this side, and will use my supports so that I can find ease in my effort. Although our body does not use words, it does speak to us loud and clear. So hopefully you're paying attention to what your body is telling you today. Two more breaths. That nice quality to your breath. It's fulsome and travels all the way down to your diaphragm. You feel the expansion in the belly and the low back. And then the release of the breath, maybe some softness, maybe some ease in the left hip. And then back the hands up towards you. Place the block off to the side, lengthen the legs, shake that out. Good. Making our way onto our backs. So start with knees bent, feet are grounded, arms by your side and palms face down. Let's pause in stillness so you feel that nice connection with the earth, that you feel that stability from the soles of the feet along the back line and the back of the head. Even the arms feel supported. And that's the feeling, hopefully, when you step off your mat today, when you face the different challenges in your life, that you can keep that sense of grounding, that you feel stability, you feel a solid foundation that will help you manage what you face each and every day. Good. Now check in with the soles of the feet, and maybe some of you might have to step them towards the bum. So you should be able to, with your arms extended, be able to touch the back of the heels with your fingertips. And then as we breathe in, press down through the soles of the feet, and you'll start to recruit the back body as you drive the hips up towards the sky. There might be a little tuck of the chin here that'll help you keep a nice long line in the spine. And then with the exhale, you'll do the reverse, and the vertebrae will uncurl and touch one at a time. Bottom lands last. So follow the rhythm of your breath. So as you breathe in, you'll fire up the back side of the body as you press your thighs up towards the sky. And then feel a softness happen as you land the back body back to the earth. Good. A few more times at your pace with your breath. And the eyes are closed, jaws relaxed. So we're coming into the last bridge. This time, let's hold at the top. So breathe in, just as you've been doing, press up. Your glutes are engaged as you drive the hips up, but pause here. We're going to stay here for a breath or two. So know that an option, arms can stay down, palms are long beside you, palms down. Maybe squeeze the shoulder blades together. Take an interlace of the fingers below you, and you almost like you can press into the triceps and give you a little more lift through the hips. Good. Just 2 more breaths. See if you can lift a little higher. Feet are pressing into the ground as everything, the front body lifts up. Nice. And if you have chosen an interlace, release the fingers, arms come by your side, and slowly, one vertebrae at a time, tails last to touch. We'll pause in a neutral spine. Good. Let's take the feet mat width apart. And as you follow your breath, the knees will fall left, back through center, and right. Try not to use momentum here, nice and slow. Just giving the hips a little bit of attention. And arms can be by your side. You can be in the shape of a T, or maybe for some of you, it might even be comfortable to have the arms extended overhead. And then the next time your knees fall to the left, allow the knees to land. And if having a wide stance does not feel good for the low back, find a comfortable twist. So if that means stacking the knees, but if you have chosen to have the feet wide, knees are staggered, what we can do here is, with the help of our left foot, just land it on the right knee, and gravity, with the help of your left knee and foot, might help you find some depth on the right side. Again, it's only an option, a suggestion. And so wherever you are, pause in stillness as you return to the breath. Eyes can be closed. Nice. So if left foot is on the knee, let's just let it land on the floor. Come through a couple of windshield wipers here, just to release any sticky spots. And then when knees fall over to the right, find your shape on this side. So whether you decide to stack the knees, if you do take the wider stance with the feet, then right foot, just place it kind of the top side of your foot on the knee, and you'll automatically start to feel that gravity drawing the left knee down. Relax in your jaw and all the facial muscles, particularly around your eyes and between your brow. Imagine the skin on the face melting back into the earth. Good. If right foot is on top of the knee, let the foot land. Come in just to a couple of windshield wipers here. And then feet ground and become hip width apart. Knees are bent. Hug the knees into the chest. Maybe bring the forehead up towards the knees. Squeeze into a tight ball. Let's all breathe in together, and through an open mouth as you lengthen the body and be long, let it all go. Find your relaxation posture. It could be traditional Shavasana, where feet are looking for the corners of the mat, feet flop open, arms nice and wide if you have the space to do so. You feel the back body is supported, the shoulders are scooped under the chest, the glutes melt back to allow the pelvis to melt back. If there are low back issues at any time, rebend into the knees, ground the feet, and knees can meet in center. Just find something that is comfortable for your body for these last few moments of class. And you can let go of control of the breath. It's more your own home breath. And then as you begin to return to your body, Make movements, wiggle fingers and toes, maybe wrist circles and ankle circles. Head from side to side. Maybe open and close the mouth. Release any last little bits that are hanging on in the jaw. And then however you'd like to find your way to seated, whether you roll along the length of the spine a couple of times, maybe some of you prefer to come on into a fetal position, come onto the right side and press yourself up. And if it's still comfortable to do so, eyes remain closed, hands at heart. And practice with gratitude, thankful for the gift of a healthy body. And hopefully we all feel a little more grounded to face what's on the other side of your mat once you step off your mat today. So thank you again for joining me. Namaste.